Everyone, our first speaker, Miss ROANNE LOZADA.
Okay, good morning everyone. Hello, good morning. So, good morning especially sa lahat ng participants na nandito ngayon, streaming via Facebook Live. So, good morning. And of course, Merry Christmas sa lahat and may your hearts be filled with love, hope, and compassion. At syempre, thank you to the Lambunao National High School Supreme Student Government, my forever home, for giving me this opportunity. So, without further much ado, let's get this started. Okay. So as student leaders, no one can really argue that this school year is completely different from the usual setup. And it has been one of the greatest challenges that we have ever encountered. Who would ever thought that we will be transcending our efforts virtually? Now we will be communicating our efforts for the students and even for the community virtually. But I guess this shift indeed tested all our capabilities and creativity on how to utilize modernization favorably to our current setup. We took numerous reroutes, proceed with different plan keys, and even started from scratch. Yet, we are all here striving for greatness and be limitless. Today, I will share to all of you my own version of being limitless. That is through breaking boundaries and building bridges. But what do we mean by the word limitless? Unconsciously, this is composed of two words with different meanings that often describe how we see or perceive ourselves. Diba? Sa palagay nyo, yes or no? Na these two words with different meanings have often describe how we see ourselves as a person or as a human being. Okay, we'll see. So, limit and less. That are the two words that compose the word limitless. So limit is defined as a point or level beyond which something does not or may not extend or pass. This definition is according to Oxford Dictionary. Or according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, limit is something that bounds, restrains, or confines. As as person, human as we are, we tend to say, muni lang gid makaya ko. Feeling ko, di ko na kaya. Na-reach ko na akong limit. Never ko pa na-try. Di ko na yung kabalo. Limited lang akong knowledge or di gani, hindi ako kamaan. Diba? We tend to restrain our capabilities as a person, confine ourselves as persons. And with this, we think of ourselves as limited persons that we are only capable of doing the usual things, which made us fear those things we haven't even tried. Because we are too afraid of going beyond our comfort zones. Abi? To those people who agree with me, you can comment the word limited person if you do think that you are a limited person. And the other word that completes the word limitless is less. So less is defined as to a smaller extent or not so much according to Oxford Dictionary. Or according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, less means of a lower rank, degree, or importance. And in our own parlance or in our own vocabulary, we define less as someone mas nubo kita sa ila, or as someone na hindi kita enough as kung paano mo enough on other people. For example, we tend to say, mas mayad ka na kaysa kanakon. Tama lang ran, tana lang ran na makaobra. Secretary lang ko, member lang ko, amol lang, or mas alang, mas gwapa ka na, or mas mayad ka na. And other belittled phrases that we unconsciously say because we think of ourselves as limited person or as a last person. But do you ever know what binds these two words or what has been the reason why we ever limit or think of ourselves as a less person? This is maybe because first, we compare ourselves to other people. Others have become our basis of greatness, of improvement, or of growth. We think that they are more than us, that they are far better than us, without even realizing that we are already beautifully crafted and exemplary in our own ways. And this has been the reality to each and one of us, that we tend to compare ourselves to other people unconsciously or consciously. Or maybe because we have insecurities. We constantly feed our egos because we are imperfectly flawed. And as a person, we have defined our own sana all, not knowing that our imperfections can be our armor and that we are already extraordinary people with so many extraordinary talents and capabilities. But then again, we try to define or consider ourselves as limited or less person because we do have insecurities. Or maybe we think of ourselves as limited or less person because we are just afraid. We fear what other people might say. We fear other people's judgments, hatreds. We even fear negativities. And above all, we fear failures. But let me tell you this, that feeling all of this, feeling insecure, feeling afraid, or if ever you tend to compare yourselves to other people, that's okay. And that's completely normal. You know, it takes countless worries and doubts to realize that we have been too much negative for ourselves, that we become too harsh for ourselves. And after all, how we handle fears or this thoughts will determine where we go for the rest of our lives. And that is why, as student leaders, as individuals, let's be limitless. Let's be limitless. Because if, as what I've said, if we're going to cage ourselves, it, it means like we are not ready to move forward. We're not ready to face the reality, or we cannot just be stuck on this on our current setup, not knowing that we are already afraid of doing the things that we haven't even tried. And as what I've said, how we handle fears will determine where we go for the rest of our lives. So, limitless. Book define limitless as something that has no end, limit, or boundary. Note that we are not giving anyone here any false hopes that they can turn their literally impossible things to happen. But what I am reiterating to everyone is that when we become limitless, we become we can be anything or anyone that they once thought impossible for us to achieve. Diba? Whoever thought that Steve Jobs would drop out from school and start a his own company and even succeed until now. And that's the thing, diba? We limit ourselves just because we are too afraid of doing these impossible things for us to achieve. We were taught of dreaming big and exploring bigger, But by being limitless, we can be the biggest change for ourselves, for other people, for the community, and for the world. If you truly believe that there are limitless possibilities in life, you see no limits to what people can achieve. And the moment we become or we believe in becoming limitless, we can truly break the boundaries and build bridges, not only for ourselves, but for other people. I hope that you are now ready to become limitless as I share to all of you my own formula of the 3 C's to become limitless. Okay, so ano ay honey ang the 3 C's to become limitless? So first C is challenge. Challenge yourself. You need to break your own boundaries to expand your horizons. Allow yourself to grow beyond your own comfort zone. Paano mo mabalaan nga gusto mo gali ang sinigang kay ang permi mo ginakaon adobo? Or di gani, paano mo balaan nga nami ka magsaot kung permi ka lang nahuya? Na nami ka gali when it comes to public speaking kaso wala mo lang ginatry. I knew and met a lot of people who confined themselves only to their safe place and regretted it after. Because they are too afraid of going beyond their safe places or their boxes. Excuse me. It is true that we all have to start with a box, but we don't have to stay in it. So keep pursuing or pushing yourselves to try new things to unbox your limitless potentials. Number 2, or the second C in becoming limitless. Connect and communicate. To expand your horizons, you need to build bridges. Ask for help and learn from others. By this, you are not comparing yourself to anyone aside from yourself. Compare what progress have you ever made since yesterday, or if you have become better compared before. Am I the same person when I was yesterday? Am I that Roan yesterday? So, na bala siya bala? As they say, no man is an island. So by communicating or connecting to others, this isn't only about you trying to be limitless. Come on guys, being limitless doesn't only limit yourselves to yourself only, but of course being limitless together with other people. This world and the people around us needs hands to help them and lift them up. You will never know that at some point, maybe your words or actions can already change the lives of others without even knowing it. Basti ang imo pa nga mga tinaga makalift ng spirits ng iban because like you, they are too afraid. Diba? So that's why we need to communicate and connect to other people so that we will be moving forward as one by not leaving anyone behind at all. And next or last C is conquer with courage. Be ready to unleash your capabilities without holding back. Remember to conquer with passion and purpose. Because sometimes we limit ourselves because we fear criticism. It is inevitable that we will receive criticism when we follow our hearts. And that can be really hard. But it will always be important to stay to your hearts. To stay true to your hearts. The mind must be wide open in order to function freely in thought, and for a limited person or a limited mind cannot think freely. When we conquer with courage, we pack so much positivities within us because we already accepted the faith or our faith that at some point failures will be there. But if you keep fearing fail, you will never move forward. And as what Bruce Lee have said, let be there no limits, our limitations. So it's all about our mindset When we think of ourselves as limited persons, then therefore we are limited persons. But if we think of ourselves as limitless persons or people, then we will become limitless. Sabi nga nila, imagination mo ang limit, but we are not just imagining things here because we are believing in ourselves that we can be limitless. We limit ourselves and our own capabilities with how we think about ourselves, about others, and about our circumstances. This has a tendency to put a ceiling on our growth and development. It is a boundary that we are unable to cross. That is until we begin to view ourselves as being limitless. Being limitless isn't about being perfect. Rather, it is about accepting the fact that we have something within us that needs discovery. And in order to unleash the potential, we must believe that we are bigger, just like our dreams, and we can be limitless. As leaders, we should remember that nothing happens until someone moves. Because we do not wait for other people to feed our minds and act for us. It is even realizing that we are not puppets of someone, that we need to trust our own personal judgment and actions, knowing that we know better, that we are capable of doing something. And we cannot just wait for tomorrow to come and believe that, okay, we will just cross the bridge or we will just cross the sea when we get there. Note that leaders being limitless should always come prepared to take action in rapidly changing world where it is all too easy to cling to the status quo and do nothing. As leaders, we need the courage to take action, not make decisions. Excuse me. We need, as what I've said, as leaders, we need to take the courage to take action, not make decisions. We are the one who will craft a vision no matter how big or small, wide or unreachable it may be. Create vital steps and plans to turn this vision into reality. We must be willing to examine things in the present moment. And if the path is not working for you, give yourself a permission to turn around from it and find a different route. Because being a limitless person doesn't bound us only to the things that we are used of doing or to the things that we have planned on the first place. Because unexpected things happen, and being limitless, we must address to those unexpected things with grace and passion. You will never know just how far you can go unless you make a conscious decision to push the boundaries of what's possible. And my dear young or my dear student teachers, now is the time for us to expand ourselves, to continue believing ourselves that we are limitless. Because if we do not push ourselves to become limitless, then we will stay as limited or less persons that we always thought of ourselves. And it should be you who should believe yourself in the first place. Ikaw gud mismo ang dapat na una magpati nga kaya mo na ubahon of all the people. Because no matter how many times people will convince you of doing something, or how many times will people to tell you that you can do it, and if you keep believing, if you keep on believing that you cannot and you can never do that, then you will never be ready of becoming a limitless person because you are too afraid to break your own boundaries and to build bridges. And by saying that you cannot break your own boundaries and build your own bridges, then you cannot expand your horizons towards greater heights, or towards greatness. Are you ready to become limitless? Well, for the record, you already are limitless. You just have to become aware of it. So thank you so much. Thank you for having me as your. Thank you for having me in this session, and I hope that you have learned something from me, and that you will choose to become limitless at all times and in all times. If you have questions, feel free to send me message so that I can impart you something that you want to further to hear further. Once again, I am ROANNE Lozada, currently the CPUR Public President, and I'm always proud to be a Lambunao National High School Supreme Student Government alumna. So thank you so much and good morning once again.